I first started taking ashwagandha supplements about 2 years ago, and I take it for a lot of the medicinal and health benefits. I get them in capsule form, order them online from a company that I typically like to order my supplements from. However, I just recently realized that I can actually be growing this myself and have it readily available right here for a fraction of the price, process it myself, and it's fresh and more potent that way. So I recently purchased seeds from the Urban Harvest, and I have some baby plants growing outside. I'm gonna go ahead and take you with me so you can see what they look like. I'll bring them back inside. I do have to up pot them into bigger pots, but I will be talking about the health benefits, the uses, how to harvest this wonderful herb. It is an adaptogenic herb, as a traditional Ayurvedic medicine. It's been used for over 2,500 years, and there are hundreds of studies on this herb. So you can go ahead and go online, do your research as necessary. And I do want to mention that if you have any health conditions or are pregnant or are taking any medications, to just consult with your doctor, just like with any herbal supplements. Before you start taking them, you'll want to consult with your doctor first, because some herbs can have adverse reactions or effects. So just clear that with your doctor first. But right now, I'll go ahead and take you outside with me so that you can see what they look like, and then I'll bring them back in, because right now it's pretty loud outside. I have some starts here. I did start a couple more, but I do have a few in here that initially started in here, and then I moved them to this container, and then I'm going to actually now separate those 3 or 4 that I have in there and place them into larger containers. I wouldn't normally transplant this many times, but I do have very limited space where I am. We are temporarily at an RV park until the house starts to get built on the land that we just recently purchased. So until that process happens, we are stuck here with very limited space. Now this is what the small seedling plants look like. There are 4 of them in here that I will be separating and placing them into their own individual pots. I started these from seed around January 18th, and we are now in February. So today is February 24th. So it's been just over 4 weeks. Now I will put up on the screen what these plants look like at maturity. They do form little berries that are also edible, but not very tasty. And what's actually used on this plant for the medicinal properties would be the roots and the leaves, but mainly the roots. So the berries will be harvested for their seeds. Each berry has about 20 plus seeds in it, and each seed will become its own plant. So the berries are definitely useful if you want to continue propagating, which is what I will be doing. Now let's talk about my favorite part, which are the health benefits of this plant. So fun facts. Again, this has been used for thousands of years as an Ayurvedic medicine. It is an adaptogenic herb, so it's going to help the body maintain homeostasis even in times of physical or emotional stress. And it has been extensively researched. There are over 200 studies that you can find online alone on a lot of its properties and the different benefits that it has. It's grown and used a lot in India, which is what I initially learned, and which is why I thought I could never grow it out here, and why I started taking it as a supplement. But in India, it's known as kind of like the Indian ginseng, because it increases stamina and endurance. They use it to strengthen the immune system, especially after illnesses or sickness. And of course, they use it as a natural stress reliever. This herb improves sluggish or underactive thyroids. Also, when you're stressed, your body releases hormones like cortisol and adrenaline. And so after moments of high stress, you typically feel fatigued or tired. And it's because of all of those hormones that are racing and rushing through the body. So this kind of helps calm that down and also helps prevent so much of those hormones from being released during times of stress. So it goes without saying, it's a natural remedy for anxiety and stress. There are also studies of those who were on antidepressant medications, anti-stress medications, that they paused on those meds to supplement with ashwagandha instead. And not only did they see benefits in their overall well-being and emotions, they didn't get any adverse reactions or effects that they did with their prescription medication. So again, talk with your doctor if you are planning on switching over to replace anything that you're currently taking. I just wanted to throw that out there. You can do your research, but it's a pretty awesome thing. It improves digestion. It balances your blood sugar levels and also helps reduce any high cholesterol that you may have. It also helps fight cancers like breast, colon, stomach, and lung cancers and prevents them from spreading. It reduces degeneration of brain cells and also helps improve your memory. It helps increase muscle strength and it improves your sleep quality. So I was taking it with my daughter. In the evenings, we make a little concoction called moon milk, and in that recipe, it actually uses ashwagandha. I have it in capsule powder form, so I would break open a capsule and add it to the moon milk recipe, and we slept like babies. It was just so nice. Now, how to use it. So when this is an adult plant, I'll do another video on me harvesting it, but you'll want to harvest it completely. So you'll want to remove all the roots from the ground and start just chopping off the roots and cutting them into smaller pieces, cleaning it out and drying it so that you can either use it in dry form in teas, or you can powder it up, which is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna dry it and then process it into a powder, and you can use it in teas or in moon milk. You can also dry the leaves. The leaves do have their own medicinal properties similar to the roots, but the roots are just more potent. The roots are usually what is used. I'm also gonna take the root. I don't think I'm gonna dry it first. I think I'm gonna do fresh root and make a tincture out of it. So stay tuned, because I'm also going to throw out a video of that process as well. Now I'm gonna show you a quick transplant video. It's not ideal because I'm going to be placing these together again in a container, but when we move to our land, I'm going to separate these plants one more time and place them in ground or in a raised bed, because they do need a little more space than what I'm currently giving them. I'm just taking advantage of the size that they are, considering that they are still small. They can fit nicely in this container that I'm going to pot them into, but of course you're gonna want to have one plant by itself, give it enough room, enough space, so that you don't overcrowd them. And it'll be ready for harvest in about 150 to 180 days, just depending on weather, climate, and how well it's being taken care of. What I'm doing is gently removing and separating the 4 seedlings that you saw growing in the small container, and I'm going to temporarily place them in this 5-gallon fabric container. And because they are still small, they can grow together in here, but later on it may be a little bit challenging for me to remove all of the soil from this fabric container. It's easier to do it from a plastic container, but I don't have any plastic containers right now. So what I'll do later on is I will remove all of the soil gently and again separate these plants and place them by themselves in ground once we get established on our land. So I'm going to have them in ground in a raised bed. And then I had 2 extra little seedlings that I had started, and I'm going to place one of them in this small container by itself for now. And then the second one I will just plop right into this 5-gallon container with these 4 others. Now again, this is temporary. They do prefer to grow by themselves as their own individual plants, and that's what I will be doing in the near future.